Welcome, in front of me is a Neffos X20, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks that you can do on this device. So we're gonna start off with hiding a notch. Now, not everybody likes that little drop down. Now this is fairly elegant, but you can still hide it if you would like to. And to do it, you would go into the settings, and from settings, let's scroll down under to the display and find, where is it? There it is. So show screen notch. Now if you disable that, it just kind of gets all the black background around it, so it doesn't like get in your face with it just sticking up there. That's the first thing. Now I'm gonna disable that actually. Now moving back, another thing will be lift to wake display. Now it's just a nice thing if you don't really want to press a button and you have the phone laying, you can basically pick it up and see what is happening and put it back down, and it will automatically wake the display so you can see. And to enable that, it's also going to be under the display, and let's see where it is. Lift to wake right here. And now if I were to lock the device, let me just place it. I think there's like a couple seconds that it needs to wait before it actually reacts, so there it is. So it automatically wakes up the display. It's a simple feature, but just allows you to, without any press of a button, wake the display so you can see your notifications or time. Okay, so moving on, we're gonna go into hiding password. Now this is one of the things that is kind of infuriating, that basically it's always on, or well, showing the password is always on. And what I mean, I'm gonna go into this place where I can actually demonstrate what I am talking about. So in Wi-Fi, where I actually would have to put in a password, and it doesn't apply only to Wi-Fi, it basically applies to any place where you put in a password and normally it has those dots. But when you start typing away the password, you can see that there is always a latest letter that you have pressed shown on a screen. Now if someone is really content and looking over your shoulder, they can basically gather your entire password because, well, uniquely providing them in a sequence your entire password. So that is super annoying in my opinion. And there's a way to actually disable that. So you'd go into the settings, and from settings we're gonna go into security, I guess, or if I can find it. Okay, so it's gonna be right here under screen lock, fingerprint and security. And from here, let's scroll down and you have the show password. So disable that, go back, and now as a demonstration, I will go back to the password where I get to type in a password. And you can see that now there's no more letter visible. It still shows up the letter that is under your finger, but when you're holding, for instance, doing something like this, it's way harder for someone to see your entire password. That is just kind of like randomly letters appearing. So, in my opinion, this is a must turn on feature. Now, moving on, we're gonna go into the screen off gestures, which, let's go into the settings first, and then go into the gestures and smart assistants. So it's right here. And then you have the screen off gestures. Now to start off, you will have to enable them, and it will give you a bunch of options. So you can see each one, that what it does. So music switch controls, and provides you what you have to draw to control it. Draw M to play music. Let me check something because I believe, yep, you can change it. So each one of them can be actually changed to something else. So if you want to set up, for instance, instead of having music under M, you want to have Chrome, then you can press that. And now if I lock the device and draw an M, hopefully it will work. Otherwise, I'm just showing nothing. You know, let me just first go over them and try that later on. So one other thing that I like here is the double tap to wake. So enable that, I would say. And now also you can do the double tap to wake up the screen, so you don't actually have to lift it anymore, if you're more of a fan of that. Let me see, try that again. There we go. So you have to go all the way basically to the bottom. And you can see that it launched Chrome. So the gestures are, I guess, a little bit of to get used to, but I bet once you get how they're supposed to be drawn, it's gonna be more natural. So moving on, we're gonna go into the system navigation, and this will just allow you to change the system navigation. Now this will be located under basically system nav. It gives you the option to switch the buttons between if you like that. So if I switch, the back will be on the opposite side, which right now back button is located on the left. Previously it was on the right, as you can see. You also have the gesture navigations if you like that, and it gives you a guide on how to use it, so you can scroll through it. And this is the full gesture, so it has basically the back. There we go. Back from the side. It gives you that tiny arrow, if I can move my finger. So this will basically act as back. Then you have left and hold to go into reset. And also just swipe up to go home. Now keep in mind that right now it might look like it's not working very well, but it's because the phone is on a tray and it's a little bit harder to get the finger from flicking it up from all the way to from the bottom up. So that is more of a problem with how the phone is positioned than really the gestures itself. But yeah, gestures are super cool. So that would basically conclude the tweaks and tricks that I want to share. And if you found any of them helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.